From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, Hurricane Michael devastated parts of the Florida Panhandle on Wednesday. And while residents who were affected by Hurricane Michael worked to restore their homes and lives, one Troy University student whose family experienced the destruction firsthand is working with Troy Student Government Association to find a way to help those in need. Anna Kate Patterson has more.
The whole reason that I'm doing this, it's not for my family, it's not for anything like that, but I have contacted everyone from Troy that I know, lived in Panama City or that I personally knew, and I was like, hey, is your family okay?
Kristen Humphreys, a junior exercise science major from Panama City, Florida, is only one of many Troy University students who have been severely affected by Hurricane Michael, the Category 4 hurricane that made landfall in Mexico Beach, Florida on Wednesday, just southeast of her hometown.
The house that I grew up in, we just moved out of, and so it's not there. It was completely destroyed, so I think that was God kind of telling us we needed to go whenever we did. But my mom's house, we haven't been able to get in anywhere in that area.
Humphrey's father's apartment has also taken severe damage, and several of her extended family members' homes are completely gone. But with all the devastation in her own family, she still focuses on helping those who have lost more.
Imagine waking up and not having anything, toothbrush to socks to dog food to cat food to baby food, anything you can think of.
Humphreys met with SGA President Gus McKenzie and Director of Student Involvement Barbara Patterson on Thursday. Together, they want to organize a relief team that will travel to Panama City and other affected areas.
And I've talked to the sheriffs and all of them down in Panama City, and I've ask them when's the best time for us to come, because there are pre-plans and everything that we can re-entries.
Students can expect an email from the SGA sometime this weekend concerning joining the Hurricane Michael relief team. And those who have concerns or needs after the natural disaster are encouraged to let the Office of Student Services know how they can help by emailing hreeves@troy.edu. Well, last Thursday was Troy University's first ever Giving Day, and the school had a goal to raise $50,000 in the newly created fundraising effort. And well, it surpassed that amount twofold. Troy's development office ended up raising $100,257 in the one-day fundraising event. 290 total gifts made up that amount, and donations were made from 27 different states. Donations were made in a variety of ways, including online, at a tent on the Bibb Graves Quad, and at the football game on Thursday night. This was the first ever Giving Day for Troy, but the school plans on making it an annual event. Well, Troy University's College of Education serves to produce the next generation of teachers. And last Thursday, high school students who are interested in majoring in education were able to learn more about the college at the Future Teacher Summit. Adoria Hughes has the story.
Some high school students got an inside look into furthering their education at the College of Education Future Teacher Summit.
Today's event is about bringing teachers or potential teachers from high schools to come in and talk to Troy about coming here to do their education major. So they can come see what we do. They're going to get to see STEM activities. They're going to get to see hands-on activities so that they can really see that being a teacher is fun and beneficial for hopefully their future students.
Students participated in hands-on learning to mimic activities they would do in a classroom with students.
What we are preparing our 21st century learners for in the classrooms today is future jobs that may not have been created yet or established yet. So we're trying to prepare them with higher order thinking skills through science, technology, engineering, and math.
Students also got the opportunity to explore campus and connect with others with the same interests.
I really liked meeting other girls and guys who are interested in what I'm interested in, and hopefully who are also planning on going to Troy next year as well. So it's cool to kind of network and be able to be around the professors and people who I'm going to be around in the future. It'll be less intimidating.
Adoria Hughes, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll see how a Troy University sorority is looking to make some wishes come true. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
over 70 years, Smokey Bear has asked you to use fire responsibly.
Fire is due to an unattended campfire. Go time.
Here's how you can stay on the front lines of preventing wildfires. Always watch your campfire. Before leaving, drown it, stir it, drown it again, and feel that the fire is out cold.
Oh, bullseye!
And you won't need a visit from these guys.
Copy that.
You can be Smokey's wingman when enjoying nature and prevent wildfires. Visit SmokeyBear.com for more fire prevention tips.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on a sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
Now back to Troy TrojanVision News Weekly.
Pretty much everyone can agree that having a little extra income every month could be helpful. However, the source of extra income was a topic of debate Monday afternoon between the Debate Club and the Philosophy Society. Seth Hawk explains.
Monday afternoon, Troy University's Debate Club debated the topic of a universal basic income, or UBI, which would give every American citizen $1,000 a month. Initial polls saw the majority of the crowd were in favor of this idea, and according to the faculty advisor of the Debate Club, Dr. Jay Valentine, seeing the initial poll gave him an idea on who would win the debate.
Actually, what I think happened is that the initial uneducated view on UBI that we took the poll at the beginning was extremely high, perhaps a little inflated. And then so just by giving them some basic information about what it would actually entail, more people saw it as being kind of pie in the sky. We actually kind of thought it would be the other way around, where you'd have a lot of people who would just dismiss it immediately, and then we'd convince a few people to go in that direction. Pretty much as soon as I saw the initial score being in favor of universal basic income, I knew that the other team was going to win because of that.
The Debate Club is preparing for their second trip ever to the Fall Debate Tournament, and according to some members of the club, they feel more prepared now that they've had some practice.
I think we'll do well. I think we'll fare well. We were definitely well researched on this one. I think that always makes for a much stronger position to argue from.
I'm not sure if the current members will be maintained on the same teams, but wherever each person finds themselves, I'm sure they'll do quite fine.
For those that might be interested in joining the Debate Club, you can send an email to Valentine at jvalentine@troy.edu. Seth Hawk, Troy, TrojanVision News.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, approximately 800,000 people died from the flu last year in the United States. Although getting a flu shot does not completely guarantee you won't get sick this flu season, it can greatly increase your chances of staying well. As Yolanda Allen shows us, Troy University students don't have to go far to get the shot.
When the seasons start to change, it starts to get cooler and people tend to get sick, particularly with the flu. Troy University Student Health Services is allowing students and faculty members to receive the flu shot on campus.
We do give flu shots here. They're open to students and faculty. They are not free though. If you have insurance, the insurance pays for flu shots. So we run the insurance card and bill it through the insurance. If you do not have insurance, then we just treat it as a cash pay basis, just like Walgreens or any of the other doctor's offices in town.
There are many strands of the flu, and the flu shot may not completely stop some from getting the flu.
There's different strands of the flu. So the last 2 years we've had a bad flu season. So we've seen even some people that had the flu shot did get the flu. So it's not 100%. There may be some strands that the flu shot doesn't cover, but typically it does help prevent the flu.
Some Troy students have been affected by the flu and continue to get their flu shots every year.
My mom's a nurse, and so she always makes me get the flu shot, but I'm glad that she does because
generally every time I get it, I don't get the flu. But the year that I did get the flu 2 years ago, my junior year of high school, I actually had gotten the flu shot, so it kind of just depends on the year.
Since the beginning of the month, many students have been getting their flu shots.
We've given a lot of flu shots already, but you know, and we've seen already some viral illnesses that mimic the flu. We've not had a positive flu test here yet.
There are many symptoms of the flu. However, it usually pertains to headaches, body aches, and fevers. Yolanda Allen, Troy, TrojanVision News.
All this week, a Troy University sorority was trying to make some wishes come true. Chi Omega held their annual Wishes Week as a way to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Krista Joseph shows us one of the ways they were fundraising.
On Tuesday, Troy University's Chi Omega sorority held an event in the Trojan Center to raise awareness for its philanthropy.
Today we're just giving out free coffee to any student who wants it, just to raise awareness for Make-A-Wish Alabama and what we're doing for this week, and just let people know about it.
Hudman feels this event is important because of the impact their philanthropy has on the lives of children.
I feel this is super important because of what Make-A-Wish Alabama stands for, and we are giving hope to children with critical illnesses and helping them go further along in their journey and live happy lives. And we do this by raising awareness for what Make-A-Wish is doing and for raising money throughout our philanthropy week.
This year, the Sisters of Chi Omega got involved with their philanthropy in a special way.
Yeah, so we have adopted a kid named James's Wish. He is 7 years old and he has a critical illness, and he wishes to go to where Hawaii Five-0 is filmed in Hawaii. So our aim for this week is to grant that wish along with 2 others.
Chi Omega will conclude their philanthropy week on Friday with a Walk for Wishes at 6 p.m. on the Bibb Graves Quad. Carissa Justice, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll see how the Trojan football team had a big win and a big loss all in the same game. We'll explain right after this, so stay tuned.
We go and clear the roads looking for IEDs. We're encapsulated in those vehicles, and we get blast wave injuries very easily inside of those things. I'm actually diagnosed with PTSD and multiple cases of mild traumatic brain injury. But I was brought up, drive on, don't let your soldiers see that anything's wrong. But I started to realize that I wasn't the same guy. Having more bad days than good days set in more and more after each deployment and each injury. When I finally realized that I needed professional help, the switch for me was my family. And my wife, Tanya, thank God, she's open and honest with me and hounded me enough times to where I did go and get treatment. And I'm so happy that I sought the treatment because I know that if I hadn't, there's no way I'd be a first sergeant right now. I know that if I hadn't said help, I would have remained helpless. I definitely think that soldiers are stronger when they realize they have a problem and they ask for help.
So they say it's a man's world? Well, I don't see anybody's name on it. While they were out doing their thing, we slowly changed all that. We changed all that. Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Now back to Troy TrojanVision News Weekly.
Trojan football team sits at the top of the Sun Belt Conference standings after getting another Sun Belt win against the Georgia State Panthers in front of a national TV audience last Thursday night. Brianna Jones has the highlights.
The Trojans pounced all over the Georgia State Panthers Thursday to go 3-0 in conference play. The men managed to have a dominating first quarter, going 14-0, even with only having one full practice this week. Head coach Neil Brown on the win.
Gutsy win. I'm proud of our guys as players and staff on a short week. I was really I was impressed with what they did. I thought it was gutsy. The collateral damage was high in this game. We had several guys that went down, and we always talk about a next man up attitude, and I thought we did that.
Well, we got a lot of guys kind of banged up right now, so right now we're going to just work on getting everybody back healthy. Liberty is a pretty good team, so we're going to work on defensively, keeping the quarterback from scrambling mobile, and other than that, just getting the guys healthy and get back playing good ball.
Now, many players will not complain about a win, but this game was one of the most injury-packed games since last season.
I was impressed with how well the guys that got hurt responded and really helped the guys that came in and played. This couple-day break, comes at a good time. Beating up, I mean, it's hard. You play 6 games in a row, and the 6th one's on a short week. Probably in the 4 years, probably had more injuries in this game. The only other one that was close was the Arkansas State game last year.
And one of those injuries happened to be starting quarterback Caleb Barker. However, Sawyer Smith did not disappoint his teammates in his absence.
It was pretty known to me because I've been working with Sawyer for about 2 years now, so it wasn't nothing different. But yeah, he stepped up and did what he had to do with the next man up.
The men get this Saturday to recover before heading back on the road.
Following the 37-20 win against the Panthers, the Trojan football team improved their overall record to 5-1 on the season, as well as a perfect 3-0 in conference play. However, the Thursday night win proved to be a loss in another way, as the team is now looking to recover after losing a few key pieces in their lineup due to injuries. Antonio Reese has more.
As the Trojans continue to take down conference opponents one by one, the team has hit a few hiccups following last Thursday's game. The Trojans are facing a few changes in the lineup this week following the loss of QB1 and Caleb Barker, and a few questionables on defense in the likes of Tron Folsom and Tyler Murray, as the team prepares for a non-conference road game this week. Head coach Neil Brown discusses how the team will look to figure out the pieces and continue their winning streak.
But the win came with cost, and Tron Folsom, who's one of our leaders on defense, he's questionable for the game. We'll know later in the week. And then Caleb Barker tore his ACL. He'll be out for the season. He's going to have surgery on Friday. And then when injuries come, they come in bunches, Ken. If you look back, we kind of went through last year really healthy all the way to game 12. And against Arkansas State, it's like we lost, I think, 7 guys during the game, and then we were down 5 of those or something like that in the bowl game. So we had several that went out of the game on Thursday night. I do think most of those guys are going to be back. A couple of them are going to be touch and go. Tristan Crowder will be back and he'll play. We're kind of waiting on the Nixon brothers, Kevin and Kyle. We'll know more about them probably midweek. Just like we say all the time, we've got to be a next man up program, and Sawyer Smith will get the start on Saturday, and then we're going to get Gunnar Watson. He'll be available in the game. He will play in the game on Saturday.
Trojan team members also discuss how even though the injuries are not what the team expected at this point in the season, how they will continue to keep doing what they have been doing as far as play so far on the season.
We have a lot of faith in Sawyer. We've been having faith with him since the spring, since him and Caleb been battling out. So it doesn't really change nothing. It just got to put that. We got to help him out when he's throwing the ball on the field in that practice.
So I don't remember exactly when I found out. I kind of had a feeling for the game, after the game, just seeing it, and it is a big blow. It's a big hit. Especially the biggest thing is him missing out, because I think hopefully he can get a medical red shirt, I'm not sure. But I know he was having a great season, and it's bad seeing somebody you care about lose that opportunity. But we love Sawyer. He's a great player, and I know he's gonna pick that up, and he's gonna carry us to a great season. So I'm excited to see what he can do.
The way I found out actually is a Saturday morning, actually probably about right after I woke up, probably 30 minutes after I woke up. Caleb actually texted me and let me know. We were really getting really close, actually. We still are through this whole process. We've gotten a lot closer. And he just texted me and let me know what happened and everything moving forward. And after he texted me, after we got done texting and everything like that, and just kind of let me know what was going on.
Newly declared quarterback Sawyer Smith goes on to discuss how the offense will stay consistent and not experience much change.
I don't think the offense will change, and I think we'll go out there and try to be really productive and have a really good offensive game.
The team will take a short break from conference play this weekend as they travel to Lynchburg, Virginia to take on the Liberty University Flames. The games will be televised on ESPN3. Kickoff is scheduled for 1 p.m. Well, it's time for our last break, but when we return, we'll learn about the upcoming Fall Career Fair. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
One more grade.
Did you look? Did you go to the schoolyard? Calm down, please. Where did you look? We can make a plan somehow if I just.
He's a smart boy, and he's gonna be okay.
Just, okay, try to call him again.
There's no reception right now. Everything is down.
Try.
I can't.
Try already.
Nothing's working.
Well, just
Everything's
try.
down.
Do you think he's on his way? Please. Is he okay?
Laura.
Please tell me he's okay.
I need you to calm down.
What? It's my baby. This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
All right. I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Next week, Troy University students have the chance to meet face-to-face with possible future employers. We'll learn more about the Fall Career Fair in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Lauren Cole, Coordinator of Career Services here at Troy. Thanks for joining me here today. So, and we're talking about Career Fair, an opportunity for students to get that first chance to meet a possible future employer.
Right, it's that time of the year again. We hold a career fair in the fall and the spring, so we have our fall fair coming up. It's going to be October 17th from 10 to 2. It's a come and go. So, but I would ask students to spend at least 30 minutes at a minimum, maybe an hour. That's an opportunity, just like you said, for them to get in there to talk and meet to over 50 employers and their representatives that are coming. And even if they don't recognize the name, although we have several brand names they will recognize, it's a good opportunity to network.
And this year it's back in the ballrooms. It used to be in the ballrooms for a long time. It was in Sartain, and now Sartain is no longer there.
Right.
So it's a new location for anybody that's attended one of these in the past few years.
Right.
So.
We've been in Sartain about 5 years, but moved back to the ballrooms, which is nice and centrally located. So we invite all students to come, and then of course any alum that want to attend as well, they are invited to.
And when it comes to these, there's really, truly, we've talked about before, two different reasons for someone to go in two different groups, and they have a reason: underclassmen and upperclassmen. Obviously, for the upperclassmen, this is for the people who are looking for internships and jobs.
Right, yeah. Our lowerclassmen, most of our freshmen probably came to our major exploration fair, and we're also having a workshop. That's probably the best fit for our freshmen, but we start talking internships sophomore year. The summer after their sophomore year is a great time, even if they have a part-time job, do a free or hopefully paid internship. It might be minimal hours. They could have another job to make some money, but sophomores, juniors, thinking internships, and then juniors, seniors, networking and full-time jobs.
And of course, let's talk a little bit about the interaction at this, because when we talk about that this is a chance for jobs and internships, talk about the decorum, the way someone should hold themselves when they go and they meet some of these employers.
Right, so there's several different aspects to that. One of them is actually being prepared. So we want them to look prepared, look professional. We have a career closet that we can help students with some professional attire if they don't have it. but also being prepared as in approaching the employers and not saying, hey, what do you do? In Handshake, that's our online database, that's where all the companies have registered. So if it's not the Chick-fil-A or the CGI or some of the brand names they know, if they'll go on and look up the employers who will be there, that will help a lot when they approach these employers to sound prepared. And it also lets them know who all's coming and what majors are they looking for.
And Handshake, a tool not just for career fairs,
Right.
it's something they can use all year long, but this is a good opportunity for them to take advantage of. How can they take advantage of Handshake? How can they find that?
When they go to our website, just troy.edu/career services, it's right there in the middle of the page. They can use their single sign-on, their Web Express to log in. And that any time an employer calls us with a job or an internship, that's where it's placed. So that's where all our job postings go. And then I recommend that students look on there, see what they're interested in, of course apply. But if they want us to help them follow up, oftentimes we know some of the recruiters that are in Handshake, so we can help them follow up as well. But have their resume checked first.
Have their resume checked, do that.
We're in 104 Eldridge. They can also sign up for appointments to have their resume reviewed in Handshake. So all of our schedules in there. Get an appointment. Let us put a set of eyes on that resume before we apply.
Because there's a lot of mistakes that can be made on resumes
There
out
are,
there.
and there's lots of different opinions about resumes. We're going to help guide the student, not tell them 100% yes or no, but we're going to tell them the best practices and what's acceptable today.
Well, one thing, and we talked about this when you have been here before, but the elevator speech. And that's one of those things talking about when you present yourself to these employers. Tell us about the elevator speech and how someone should prepare for that.
Okay, so we really call that, it's really your introduction, or it might be that first question in an interview where they say, tell me a little bit about yourself. You need about a minute, minute and a half of a professional answer. If you want to say where you're from, that kind of thing is about as personal as you want to get. But you want to put in there something unique about yourself that stands out, that's professional, and a little bit about your career goals so that you can kind of entice that person to ask you more.
All right, and now for anybody who's interested in taking advantage of this, tell us when and where one more time.
So October 17th, 10 to 2 in the TC ballrooms, and they can again go to Handshake and check out who all is coming to the fair.
And between now and then, if they need some help working on that resume, some advice, anything like that, they can come by and see you as well.
For sure, 104 Eldridge Hall.
All right, well, here's hoping students out there take advantage of this opportunity to maybe find a internship or a job. So thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's what happened this week. To find out what's happening throughout the week, you can tune into Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday, or anytime by following us on Twitter at Troy TV News. Also, feel free to like our Troy TrojanVision News fan page on Facebook to see online content from Troy TrojanVision News, including some of the individual stories you saw on today's show. We hope you join us again next week for another edition of Troy TrojanVision Weekly. Have a good week.